The Treasury Department says the United States will run out of money by August 2nd unless Congress succeeds in raising the nation's $14.3 trillion debt limit. On NBC's Meet the Press, Secretary Tim Geithner said failure is not an option.
If that happens, you're going to see catastrophic damage across the American economy and across the global economy.
President Barack Obama upped the ante this week, telling CBS News that he could not guarantee retirees would receive their pension checks on August 3rd. But economists say that's just a start. Failure to raise the debt ceiling could lead to sharp drops in global markets, similar to what the world witnessed in 2008. Senior economist Heather Boushey at the Center for American Progress says the U.S. credit rating would suffer, forcing banks and creditors to raise interest rates.
And that will have an immediate impact, of course, not just on the borrowing rate for the federal government, which affects how much all of us U.S. taxpayers are going to owe in the future, but that'll affect all the other interest rates that families and businesses rely on.
Mortgage rates could rise, consumer spending could drop, and already high unemployment could climb even higher as businesses stop hiring. If that happens, Boushey says anything is possible.
I do not think we can rule out the very real possibility that this plunges us back into recession.
Despite the nightmare possibilities, most economists are optimistic. Standard & Poor's investment guru Sam Stovall says that's because a U.S. default is simply unimaginable.
I think even though the unthinkable is something that most people on Wall Street are not expecting, meaning that the Congress will not come to an agreement on raising the debt ceiling, every day that goes by we get a little bit more and a little bit more concerned that maybe they will do the unthinkable.
That prospect worries many Americans.
Future default represents significant economic hazard for the United States. I'm worried about all of our jobs, the jobs of my nieces, my children, anyone.
Shawn Hill works at a nonprofit organization in Washington. She says no one would be immune.
I'm concerned about what it does to impact, our healthcare system, our banking, our real estate, our education. I'm also concerned about what it looks like to the international community.
Despite the similarities to Greece, Heather Boushey believes a government default is unlikely.
And it's not clear why America would default now. We have come through the Great Recession. Many businesses are back on their feet. They're sitting on a lot of profits and cash. Things are not that bad here in America. So it's not like we're Greece or other countries that have been sort of pushed into these situations involuntarily. This would be a voluntary default. And the message that sends to investors and to countries around the world and to Americans themselves about what kind of country America is not a very pretty one.
Despite her cautious belief, Boushey warns there is little individuals can do to brace themselves from the possible economic fallout, short of raising their voices to let politicians know they're playing a dangerous game. Millar Sega, VOA News.